since John has, all right, we are recording. Got it. All right, I'm gonna just mute all. John, when I mute all, does that mute you too?
Yes, it does. Yes,
Okay,
it
so
does.
make sure if it
That I
gets crazy
unmute.
and I have to mute everyone, that you have to unmute, okay?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay, so a couple of ground rules. We're going to hit 100, right? 102. So people are still coming on. So I
Mhm.
think I would suggest waiting just another like 30 seconds. People are
Yeah.
just jumping on.
Yeah, I got a timer right here. Let's see. I put a 1 minute timer on. Let some people join on in.
How come everybody's black? Their video's not on, guys.
Yeah.
Because they're in focus.
I'm not black.
Focus mode.
Yeah, it
He's
says
in focus mode, and only he and Paul can see the videos.
Oh,
What
Yeah.
happened?
So I put focus on. So only me and Paul.
He
since
wants
we're the
everybody to
co-hosts.
pay attention.
Oh. So we got to be careful what we do.
Will we get started soon?
All right, here we go. So few ground rules. We've got 125 on here, John. So housekeeping rules. We're going to stay muted so John can stay on pace with his material. I know he's practiced it a lot and he wants to give us the greatest content that he's planned to give us, so we don't want to go off rail. John is going to save 5 to 10 minutes, right, John? At the end for sort of a Q&A. We're going to do rapid fire. Raise your hand. We'll use our digital hand. And he'll get to as many questions as possible. And I'm going to be monitoring to the chat as best I can. We'll save it at the end, but this call is being recorded. So I'm going to be taking copious notes as best I can, and probably going to go back and redo my notes, so if I don't see something in the chat, we'll save it to the end. And then this is the same link. Ro Coleman's coming on at 1 o'clock, so we have to be respectful for Ro's time. And she's going to be doing a sellers seminar. For those of you that are going to that, stay on, and then we'll pass the host link to Ro. Okay? You don't have to stay on if you're not planning on staying on, so that's how that works. All right, John, it's all yours.
All righty. So I'm going to be sharing my screen here. And let me know if you guys can all see this. Can you see this, Paul?
Yes.
Yep. Yes,
Yep.
we can see it.
Alrighty. So,
Yep.
alrighty, everyone, take out your phones and scan this QR code right now. This QR code is going to be going to my Instagram. I'm going to be following everyone back that follows me. So, timer starts now. You guys have 30 seconds. And in the meantime, I want to, thank you guys all for attending the seminar and signing up. You guys will all be receiving a recording, both video and audio only. Also, I will be sending you guys a little Excel sheet with some an equipment list, some content ideas, a hashtag list of hashtags, just so you guys have all that you need to make these videos once we're done with the seminar. And now timer is up, so let's get right into it. So this is the overview because I know your time is valuable and I wouldn't want to waste it. So we're going to be going over why video is important and why it's a must, featuring some data I got from the National Association of Realtors. We have the opportunity present, 3 mindset shifters, just to give you a little more confidence. We got some quick tips, a supply list, and different types of video we're going to be going over as well. How to make a reel. So that section is going to be interactive, just to let you know now. So make sure to have your phone ready for the reel section. We're going to be going over some more tips, the lightning Q&A round at the end, and the reason why you guys are all here, right? The random photos of me with bedhead. And so we're going to take a quick pause just to go over this really quickly. I didn't insert the random photos of me with bedheads for no reason. One of the main concerns that people get is that, they have a fear of not getting behind the camera. They're not confident in themselves. They don't know what to say. They don't know what to post. And I put this in here just to show you guys that, when you provide enough relevant value, people will show up. People will listen to what you have to say, regardless of how you look. So you should never let that get in your way of making these videos. Just show up as you authentically and, provide the value that you already have in your head and just share that with everyone, right? So now here's a couple stats as to why video is crucial for all my high C's in the presentation right now. So together, Google and YouTube combine for 127 billion visits monthly. Google and YouTube alone combine for more than the next 48 websites combined in terms of monthly visits. So keep that in mind, right? 73% of homeowners say they're most likely to list a realtor with a realtor who uses video. And the reason why this is important, right, is because about 82% of home sellers hire the first agent that they interview. And if you're not using video and people want to see video and you're not the first person that they interview, you could be potentially missing out on hundreds and thousands of gross commission income, right? And 95% of buyers went online during the home search process, right? And of those 95%, 41% said that going online was the first step. Only 19% said that talking to a realtor was the first step. So we're approaching a day and age where people are starting to go on internet first because it's more convenient, it's more available. So if your presence isn't really there, you might not be the first person that they go to, and they're not going to see the value as much as you would want them to, right? On the right, we have some more stats here. Video increases traffic. Helps viewers retain their message, and most people spend close to 7 hours watching videos per week. So I'm not going to go too deep into stats because we're here to make videos, not have a stats class, right? So we're going to go on to the next slide. All righty, so here's the massive opportunity present, right? Remember that social media is always a long-term play. So the opportunity only presents itself is if you stick with it. You're not going to post a video today and make 1 million views most likely and become the most famous realtor in your market. You have to stick with it. You have to be consistent and keep the process going. So if you look on the top left, 24% of realtors use YouTube. About 3/4 of realtors are missing out on this opportunity. And if you recall from the other slide, YouTube is the second most visited website. So that alone right there shows that there's a lot of room for you to enter into, right? Now, 27% of realtors don't use any form of social media. So about 1/4 of realtors right now are in the process of being pretty much completely out of competition within the next couple years or so, right? Realtors in 2021 said that 52% of their highest quality leads come from social media. That's more than any CRM. That's more than any billboard ads, Facebook ads, or Facebook social media, but any radio ads or any other type of prospecting that you could get leads from. 52% of realtors said that social media had the highest quality leads, right? More than 500 million people watch Facebook videos each day. Not only is Facebook the largest social media network on the planet, it's also the third most visited website. So there's a massive opportunity there, right? Then 82% of global internet traffic is projected to come from video streams in 2022. The market for video is already here. Why roll against the tide when you can ride with it, right? Don't make it harder for yourself. Just start making videos. And here's some a little more graphics. The top left one is from the NAR 2021 report for its members. And as you can see, Facebook at the top, 90% of realtors are using Facebook. Now, most of them aren't creating videos at a high level. So there still is a lot of room for growth there. On top of that, a bunch of people watch Facebook videos, right? Right beneath that, Instagram, only 52% of realtors are using Instagram. So right there, more than half of the realtors that we have aren't using Instagram at all. So that means even less are making videos on Instagram. So there's a lot of room for growth there. And we're going to get into Reels a little bit down the line. So I'm going to save that for later, right? We skipped over LinkedIn. YouTube, only 1/4 of realtors are using YouTube. And as you can just see, like you can tell why YouTube is already important. Second most visited websites, and video is going to accumulate most of the streams for 2022, right? And then the last one I want you to look at is TikTok. Now, right? TikTok is one of those platforms where you might look at it and see that, oh, TikTok doesn't have the demographic that I'm looking for. But what TikTok is good for really is building a massive audience very quickly. So if you use TikTok correctly, you could probably become one of the pioneers of TikTok in your market, in your location, and build a massive audience pretty quickly, right? This little graphic over here on the bottom right, 54% of consumers want to see more video content from a brand they support, right? The people are asking for it. You know, give the people what they want. You know, they want video, they want to see you. Why not make some more videos, right? And so one of the main concerns that I got in while looking through the sign up form is that people don't have the confidence. So here are 3 mindset shifters to make you start putting things into perspective as to why you should be making video, right? The first one is the world will be a better place, right? Think of this. If you know 1,000 people and those 1,000 people know another 1,000, and then those people know another 1,000, you're only 3 levels away from 1 billion people right there. So by you making a video, you could potentially have the opportunity to impact pretty much most of the world just by you making a video. And I know it doesn't seem like that and it seems exaggerated, but you're only 3 levels away from 1 billion people. So it's definitely a possibility, right? You know more about real estate than about 3/4 of the population. Now, if we flash back to licensing class, you know, most of you guys would know how many feet are in an acre. I promise you, if you go on the street or the grocery store and you started asking random people, hey, how many feet are in an acre? Most people will look at you like you have 3 heads, right? If you attended any Ignite classes, if you attended Bold, Family Reunion, if you attended any summits, if you attend seminars like this, you probably have more in your head than most people will ever in terms of real estate knowledge. So you got to make sure that you use that to your advantage, right? And lastly, we are in an age where people feel more disconnected than ever, right? So about 75% of people said that during the pandemic, they felt lonelier than ever. And for single people, that number rises today. They feel 87% lonelier than ever. Now, right? This is not a class on dating, but as you can see, you know, people have lost touch with a lot of people. All this, you know, wearing a mask, all the restrictions on, you know, going out. People have lost touch with a lot of people, and video is the next closest thing to making that connection be felt. So that's another reason why video is very important. And now here's another more little quick tips, right, to help you look more confident and more comfortable on camera. So when you are speaking into your phone or whatever, and you're making your video, you want to look directly into the camera, kind of like what I'm doing right now. When you look directly into the camera, the people feel as if, you know, you're having a conversation with them. It feels like you're talking directly to them, and they like that. It makes you feel more personable, and it's easier to connect with you. And now imagine you're speaking with your best friend when you're making these videos. Most of the information that we spit out, whether it's market data, whether it's projections for where the market's going to be in a couple months or interest rates, most of these people can find this information on their own. And more than likely, most other realtors probably already said the same information. You want to speak like you're talking to your best friend because no one has the authentic voice that you have, right? So that is going to help distinguish you amongst the many other agents that are all spitting out the same data, is your authentic voice. So you want to be comfortable and talk as if you're talking to your best friend, right? Smile, pick your chin up, and sit or stand upright, whether you have a bathrobe on or you have a 3-piece suit. And this is just something about how you carry yourself. It definitely shows a lot. And if you carry yourself as someone that's confident, even if on the inside you're probably screaming, running around with your head cut off, you know, you're terrified, if you just present yourself in a way that makes you look more confident, most people can't tell the difference. And you'll probably make yourself end up being more confident just by, conducting yourself in that way. You want to memorize about 3/4 of your lines. And I know we script practice every day and everyone tells you, know your scripts and everything, right? But I say memorize about 3/4 of your line, because if you get too caught onto a script, you may end up kind of sounding like a robot, right? You don't want people to make you sound like, you don't want people to know that you're using a script, right? Because they can feel that, and then you lose all the touch, all the your personality, and that's what people are connecting with. That's why you're making videos in the first place. So know what you're going to say beforehand, but make sure that it doesn't sound like you're using a script, right? And lastly, you want to move around a little bit. Give a little wink, head nod, shake your hands around. You have some hand gestures, switch up your posture a little bit. Just get more comfortable. Whenever you're talking, you don't want to be like confined and tight. You want to be loose. You want to be open. You want to take up some space, and just be comfortable when you're speaking. And so, right. So, here's the supply list, right? So if you can see my little cursor here, we have some editing apps, right? And we're not going to go too much into editing apps because this is an intro class, but that may be something that I look forward to doing in the future, is going over these editing apps and how to best use them, right? And so here's also a list of recording equipment. Now this list, I'm going to be sending you guys all out after the seminar, so you don't have to worry about taking a screenshot. I have all the links already in place when I send you the Excel sheet, so you don't have to go looking for everything. And I want to just let this be known beforehand, that a lot of the equipment that I have was purchased for the sole purpose of making my podcast. If you guys don't know, I do have a podcast. It is called Walk to Wealth. And that's more of a passion project to me. So a lot of the stuff that I have, although it does help me make better videos, it's definitely not necessary, right? And so I'm going to go over really quickly a couple of the things that I do have, just so you guys know what I'm using, if you guys may want to make some investments into your business, right? So this mic that you guys all see in the morning, this is the ATR 2100. I got it on Amazon. It was about $100. And it's definitely improved my sound quality a lot. This metal thingy that's holding my mic right here, I don't know if you guys can see this. This is what's called a boom arm. This helps keep your mic in place, so you're not have to either hold your mic, and so you're not having to constantly, move it around and tweak it. And then I also have, if you can see right here, the Nexigo N660 webcam. This is great for when you're on Zoom calls like what we're on right now. It's not a necessity, but that's what I have. I say the most important purchase that you want to make when you're starting off is a simple ring light. I have one right here, and you can find these on Amazon for $20, $10, something like that. And you want to always make sure that you have lighting. But when you're starting off, the best thing to do is, find a quiet room, preferably with rugs, so it can absorb the sound. You want to avoid echo. You want to be near a window or some type of good lighting, natural lighting. You want to make sure that there's not a lot of background noise and things like that. And if you do plan on getting something, just remind yourself, let's start off with the tool that you guys all have most, right? That's your phone. Everyone here has a phone, right? And nowadays with the new iPhones, the cameras on these phones are ridiculous, and they can compete with a lot of Canon cameras, right? So you don't have to make any purchases. Just use what you guys have already, right? Just use your phone. And so now we're going to go over short form video versus long form video. So hey, we're going to save all the questions for the end. All right, so just hold tight, okay? And so short form videos on the left, right? They're great. They're usually under 1 minute. They're great for hopping on trends, showcasing your creativity, showing off your personality, generating a lot of views quickly, and quick tips and things like that, right? long form video on the right hand side is usually videos over 1 minute. They're great for search engine optimization, showcasing your expertise, deep diving into topics, collabing with other, people in your field, other, your vendor partners, things like that. And they're good for becoming an authority. And most importantly, they're great for becoming a content creating tycoon. Now, this is a more advanced strategy, but to simplify it as much as I can is pretty much you want to make long form videos, cut those up into 1 minute videos, and then repurpose all those 1 minute videos onto all your platforms so that you look like you're everywhere at all times and you have a never ending stream of content to post, right? And so if you don't know where to start, right? We have 2 coins on the bottom, right? We have the short form videos being heads, long form videos being tails. If you're someone that's indecisive or, this is a lot going on right now and there's a lot of information, just flip a coin and whichever side it lands on, that's the side you go with, right? And so now we're going to go over some of the short form video types, right? If you can see, some of these photos are smaller and some of these fonts are smaller as well. So I did that because the larger the font, larger the photo, the more important it is. And so Facebook Reels at the bottom here. I put this at the bottom mainly because no one really uses Facebook Reels specifically to post Reels, right? People just use their Instagram Reels and then share it to Facebook, which we'll get into later, right? So Facebook Reels, you don't want to specifically focus on that. Next, we have YouTube Shorts, right? YouTube Shorts, at least from what I've researched so far, is it is great for growing on YouTube, but it's kind of was made just to follow suit, kind of like what Instagram did for TikTok. TikTok started a whole short form video content, and YouTube Shorts is just YouTube's way of not getting left behind in the dust. And then next we have Instagram Reels and TikTok. And in the next slide, I'm going to be going over a little bit of the differences between the two, and so you can get an idea as to which one you might want to focus on first. Right, so let's start off on the left-hand side with TikTok, okay? So TikTok is the 7th most used social network. It has over 1 billion active monthly users. The largest age group is 18 to 24, so it might not be the demographic that you're looking for, but stay tuned, right? It's great for building up a following from the ground up. It's easier to gain views, has more editing features. It probably has the best editing features out of all the other short form video platforms. And it has more creative content and inspiration. Instagram Reels, on the other hand, right, is the 5th most used social network, has 1.4 billion active monthly users. And the largest age group here on Instagram is 25 to 34. Now, people aged 25 to 34 make up about 51% of the first-time home buyer population, right? And the median age for first-time home buyers is 33 or 34. So if you're looking to really target down on first-time home buyers, Instagram Reels may be something that you want to focus on or learn some more about, right? This is great for when you already have a small following. Instagram right now is aggressively pushing Reels, mainly because they want their people to stay on Instagram and not go on TikTok. So you might get a lot more reach and exposure by making Reels. It's better for service-based businesses, and it's easier to get people to click on your links. Now, the question is, should you choose one and not the other? The answer is, you should just make your videos and then have it saved on your phone and then upload them separately to TikTok and Instagram instead of remaking them or repurposing them, right? Because with TikTok, you can build up your following very quickly. And if you can get that following to your Instagram Reels, you can start, pushing people down the funnel and getting that target audience that you really want to by getting all your TikTok followers that you built up quickly over to Instagram, which is where you really want them, because that's where they'll find more of the value, right? And now here's the interactive part, right? I told you guys to download Instagram in the email. I'm gonna give you guys about a minute and to get on your phones and open up Instagram right now, right? Everyone grab your phones. While you do that, I am going to take a sip of water.
John, I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul. Let's see the time.
I've got a couple of very popular questions I'm holding till the end.
It sounds good.
Let's see,
Sounds good. Thank
blowing
you,
up the
Paul.
chat here. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. And you guys will all have the recording as well. So definitely feel free to play it back as well if I went too quickly. So the screen on the left here, right? So as you can see, this is how your Instagram should look when you first open up the app, right? And we have a sign of the whale here with the fan favorite breakfast pizza. Now, if you guys didn't know, I do work at a restaurant here in Stamford, Connecticut. It's called Sign of the Whale. And if you have any clients moving to Stamford, not only could I help them find a home, but I may be able to, give them a little discount over at Sign of the Whale, but don't hold me to that, okay? And so what I want you guys to do is, now that you guys all should have Instagram open, click on the button in the top right over here, the plus icon, and it should give you a drop-down menu, right? Once you click on that, let's all click on the Reels option, and we're gonna get going from there. So now here's what everyone came for. The photos of me with bedhead. I think it was almost like, I don't know if it was 7 in the morning when I was making this part, or either 7 at night. It was one or the other, but more of the story, it was pretty early or pretty late when I was doing this. So this is how your screen should look when you open up the Reels tab on your phone, right? If you look at the top left here, this is where we're going to take a start. This X icon, this is going to take you back to the Instagram home screen, right? Once you start recording videos and you press the X icon, it's going to give you the option to either discard your video, save the video, or cancel just to go back to keep recording, right? Next, we have this lightning icon. This is for the flash. So make sure to use this in bad lighting situations, such as the one I'm currently in this photo. It would have been very useful for me to have a flash. The moon icon right next to it is it brightens your screen, and it makes you look lighter on the camera. So that's also good for boosting up your lighting and how you look on camera. The settings icon in the top right there's nothing really here for Reels. There's one little section that you can click on that changes all the tools over here on the left-hand side, and it moves it over to the right-hand side.
Hey, John,
Besides that, yeah,
a lot of us don't have moons. What do we do? How do we flash a moon?
you guys don't have a moon. That is weird. You guys should all have moons if you guys have the most updated Instagram
Out and go
version.
back.
Oh, you actually have to bring the camera down to where it's dark, and then you'll get the moon icon pop up.
Okay,
Alright,
Bring the
thank you.
camera down, you'll see the moon pop up.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you. Muting. Oh, hold on, John. I'm gonna mute everyone. Okay, John, you have to unmute.
And so next, we're going to move into the icons on the left, right? So these are where the more important icons. This icon right here, the music icon, this is for when you want to add any audios that you saved from Instagram. They also recently added a feature where you can import audio from videos you already have on your phone. And you can also search up any trending audios or any audios that they have available on Instagram as well. Little quick tip that I'm gonna tell you that I'm not gonna get too much into is when you created your Instagram business account, most likely, and you made it a business account. If you change the account over from business account to creator account, you still get access to all the insights, but you also get access to a bunch of more music audios. So that's a little quick tip. This 30-second icon right here, this pretty much it is the max duration of your video. So you can either put that between 15, 30, or 60 seconds, but you can record for any time up to 1 minute. This 1x icon, now this is for speed multiplying, right? So it can either increase your speed, so you're moving like hyper fast, or it could decrease your speed, so you're moving almost like in slow motion. This icon right here underneath it is the layout icon. right? So this icon right here, what it does is it allows you to have multiple videos on the screen, and you could like either like split it up to have a screen on top and a video on the bottom. It allows you to get up to 6 videos in total on the screen at the same time. Also, when you click on the layout icon, there should be a button on the bottom that says scale as well. And that pretty much just mirrors your video. This stopwatch icon right here. Now this is for recording the video in segments. So let's say we have a 30-second video like we have here, and you want to record 2 15-minute segments. Instead of you having to perfectly time it and like manually record it yourself, you could set up for where the time stops directly at 15 seconds. And then when you proceed again, it'll just start from there. There's also a countdown section that should be there. And you can either set a 3-second countdown or a 10-second countdown. That way you can set up your phone and prop it up and then go to get ready so you can record a video, right? If you look on the bottom right down here, this arrow button, this is for flipping the camera to the front camera and to the back camera, right? And you could do that as you want. And you could also double tap the center of the screen, and that should also flip your camera back and forth.
Hey, John.
Yes.
So I'm seeing a lot of chat about people aren't seeing some of the things you're seeing. Maybe how would they check to see, how do you update the version of Instagram? Is that a relatively easy thing to do?
Yeah, so I'm not too familiar how it goes on Androids, but on Apple, if you go to the App Store on your phone, and then you press the in the top right of the App Store, you should have a section that says purchase, I believe.
Okay, and
And then update it from there.
Erica West said you can delete the app and just re-download it, and that will update it too. So, all right, I just didn't want to. I just wanted people can go back and watch it, but maybe if you have an
Yeah.
Android phone, John has an iPhone, I have an iPhone, maybe that's why I'm seeing the same. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So I apologize for that. Did not take that into consideration. So thanks for letting me know, guys.
What's
Now,
the purpose of the plus down there where at the left with the pizza on it? Down, 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 down on the left, right up there. What is that for?
yeah, so I'm gonna go over that right now. So this icon right here is pretty much for if you want to already have a video recorded. As I mentioned earlier, you can import your videos. So instead of recording manually on the reel section, you could also tap right here on the bottom left, and that will allow you to upload photos or videos into your reels that you already had pre-recorded or had taken prior to opening up the Reels app. If you see this red square, this red square isn't going to be on your Reels section. But if you swipe to the right within this red square area right here, if you swipe to the right, that should allow you to change your filters.
I don't
And-
have a red square.
Yeah, you're not supposed to, no worries. And so
I'm just going to ask everyone just to let John continue because this will be recorded and we're going to save questions to the end. All right. Thank you.
and so you can swipe across to the right to change your filters. If you press the star icon directly above right here, this star icon should take you to a screen where you could search up any filters on Instagram. And it should be showing you trending filters specifically for Reels. And it should also pop up a search bar so you can search up any filter that you're looking for. Now, what I want you guys to do is take about 10 seconds and just press the record button and record anything. Record the screen, record yourself, record the wall, record a fly, record your pet, whatever is next to you. Just press the record button and hold it down for like 5 seconds or so, right? And so now that you guys recorded something, anything, doesn't matter, you should have a little section over here on the right that now you could see that an align icon pops up right here. And this only pops up when you already recorded something. And what the align icon is for when you're making fancy transitions and you want to, do little cool things, which is a little more advanced. I'm not going to get too much into, but that's what align is for. Now, everyone click the preview section so we can go to the next step, right on the bottom right-hand side. Right, so you guys should be on this screen on the left that have my cursor over, right? If you press this this arrow back on the top left, this takes you back to the previous screen, so you can keep on recording or add more video or delete some things, right? The arrow pointing down is how you save the video to your phone. Now, this music icon, it pretty much allows you to adjust the levels of your video. And if you inserted an audio into your reel, it allows you to adjust the videos of the audio that you inserted as well. It also allows you to insert an audio if you haven't done so already. And it should also allow you to add sound effects in a voiceover feature if you want to do that, right? If you come back, this star icon is the same star icon as in the last slide. So it'll show you any filters that you want to use. The smiley face box option right here. This is good for if you want to post like a little GIF image. And it's also great for putting captions. So whenever you're having a video and you're speaking, you can have closed captions auto-generated by Instagram by clicking on that, right? So that's great for videos that you're, presenting market data and you're speaking, and that way, people can see what you're actually saying. The next icon right here is the draw icon. This icon, I don't really know what purpose it serves. If you want to draw on your screen, by all means, go for it. I don't see anyone on Instagram using it, so, but it's there if you want to. And then we have the AA icon. This is for adding text. So you can add a title, and you can change the font. You can also change the color, change the size, and you can, when the text pops up on the screen, you can adjust it to post it to anywhere on the screen that you'd like. Also, if you swipe up, kind of like what this arrow is at, the text option should pop up as well. Then on the bottom left here, we have edit clips. Now, if you remember when I said that you can record in segments, when you click on edit clips, you can adjust and trim the length of each individual clip. You can also delete the clips. You can reorder the clips, or you can add more clips if that's what you want to do, right? And then once you finish editing everything, you added your text, you added your filters, your audio, all that jazz. Then we click on next, right? And once you click on next, this feature, this page right here in the middle should pop up, right? So in the top left, we have your cover. This is kind of like your thumbnail, similar to what YouTube has. Whenever you click on a video, that's your cover. So you want something where they can see the title and something that can grab their attention. Next, we have the caption. Now you want to write a long caption, right? But you want the caption to be split out in little small paragraphs of 1 to 2 sentences, because no one wants to read an essay on Instagram, right? They want to get quick bullet points really quick. And there's 3 types of consumers. There's people that watch your videos. There's people that read your captions. And then there's people that do both. And so when people read your captions, the video plays off in the background. So it'll cycle your views and increase your watch time, which is then more likely to make Instagram boost you in the algorithm and push you out to more people. Right here in around the middle of the screen, you have an also share to feed section. So if you look on the photo on the right and someone clicks on your profile, this is the feed. This is the main feed where your photos and stuff pop up. And as you can see on my main feed, I have reels, all my reels on here. If you don't turn this section on right here, your reels will only pop up in this second icon over here. And so when people click on your page, they're not going to initially see your reels. So unless they stay on your page and start looking through, you're probably going to be missing out on a lot of potential views right there. So make sure that that is on. We're going to skip profile image because I'm not too sure that does anything. And tag people, right? Oops. Tag people. So when tag people, you can either tag people, but the best part about it is now there's a new feature where you can add a collaborator. And now the good thing about adding a collaborator is, let's say me and Paul made a video together instead of me posting a video on my Instagram and him posting the same video on his Instagram, we post one video jointly onto both our Instagrams at the same time, pretty much. And Instagram can pretty much connects in our account. So when people are swiping down their main feed, they see a post by John Mendez, realtor, and Paul's Instagram. Instead of seeing one of my posts and Paul's posts, if they see one post with me and Paul together, right? So that's a nice little feature to boost your potential reach. Rename audio doesn't really have any benefit at all, so skip that. And now for add location, as you can see, Instagram already knows where to find me. You can find me in Stamford, Connecticut. And this kind of happens once you start geotagging. That's the terminology behind it. You want to geotag everything. You want Instagram to know where you're located at so it can push your content out to more people looking in that specific location. And then we have in this red circle right here, recommend on Facebook. Now, if you remember a couple slides back when I said don't post on Facebook Reels specifically, this is because when you post your regular Instagram Reels, it gives you an option here usually to recommend on Facebook, so that when people are on Facebook looking at Reels, they're more likely to see your Instagram Reel while they're on the Facebook app. Advanced setting, we're not really going to get into. And so once you finish going through all of that, you can either save as draft to come back to it later, or you can share your post to your feed and allow everyone to see it. Now, this is my second most played video, right? So I'm gonna let you guys see this. The video quality is a little bad, but that's because when I uploaded it into Google Drive, it kind of ruined the video quality, but here it goes. Right, so that little reel right there may seem like something that's, it's a little funny, nothing too serious, right? But that reel right there got almost 4,600 views within the first day. It got over 100 likes, I got a couple comments, and it got a couple shares, right? Or I mean saves. And that just goes to show that you don't have to put too much time and effort into these little videos. It probably took me like around 5 tries to make this video just because I kept mistiming the lyrics. But besides that, you don't have to post a super high quality film to get a lot of views, right? And we're going to take a pause from this really quickly to go on Instagram. So this guy's name is Matt Leonetti, and here's one of his reels that done really well, right? We're going to go over this.
So sometimes I do get really scared about what people say about real estate agents and the future of our industry, how we're all going to be replaced by robots. It's all going to be online and we're just not going to be needed. And then I go stand in the Walmart self-checkout line and I see how many people can't figure out how to type in the code to their fucking tomatoes. And I think, we're going to make it. We're going to be all right.
Right. So that video right there got over almost 400,000 views. Probably took him about maybe a couple minutes to make that video, posted on his Instagram. So this is the potential that you can potentially tap into when making Instagram Reels, right? Whoops. Right. So now we're going to go over long form videos. We're still doing pretty good on time. IGTV on the bottom. IGTV kind of died out a few years back. It's still a feature there, but now with TikTok and Instagram kind of battling, Instagram is really pushing Reels. So if you want to make long form videos, yes, you can post it on Instagram, but Instagram would rather see you post Reels so they can push out your content more. What you can do though is use Instagram Lives and then save the Instagram Lives of a post so it posts as an IGTV. We have Facebook Live here, and both Facebook Live and Instagram Live are kind of similar. I prefer Facebook Lives because what it does is that it notifies all your friends that you are going live. And Facebook Live also has the option for you to record horizontally so that you can then use that video, save it to your screen or to your phone, and then put it on to potentially YouTube or other platforms, right? So that's a good feature. Both live features on each platform, both Facebook and Instagram, they both allow you to collab with other people. So you can invite other people to your live and to join that. And they both allow you to better engage with your audience, which is really important. And then lastly, we have YouTube, which is the big giant that we're going to get into. a little bit. So remember, as I said I believe one of the opening slides, right? So YouTube is the second most visited website on its own, and it's owned by the largest search engine in the world. And that's the power of YouTube. It's owned by Google. So when you look up, best nice houses in Fairfield County, a lot of things will pop up, right? But with YouTube, let's say you made a video on best downtown condo complexes in Stamford, Connecticut. If someone were to type that on Google and you had a video posted on your YouTube about condo complexes in Stamford, Connecticut, YouTube would then push out that video to the search screen. So whenever a client's looking, you're more likely to have your video put in front of them when you're using YouTube, because Google owns YouTube, right? YouTube also allows you to really show off your expertise, unlike most other platforms. When people watch YouTube, they're most likely going to learn something, to watch a longer form video. And so that really allows you to get more in depth and elaborate a lot more than you would on a 1-minute reel. And YouTube allows you also to save time by not spending it unnecessarily with leads that are on the fence. And the strategy behind this is, once you get into the swing of things and you start posting out YouTube content, you're going to have tons of video on your YouTube page. And the leads that come to you through YouTube, because they've seen all your videos, because they've seen all the value that you provide, when you have an appointment, or if they come to you asking to make an appointment for a listing or maybe a buying as well, the rapport is already going to be built prior to you ever speaking with them. You're already going to show up as the one before you ever even show up. And that's going to save you a lot of time that you would have spent trying to build rapport and stuff with that lead, because they're already going to trust you. So that's really important part of one of the good things that YouTube provides, right? And so here's a 5-step video process, right? And I got this from Jeff Glover. So all credits to him. I learned this on one of his seminars. You want to start with a compelling hook, right? An example is, I bet you thought right now is the best time to sell. Hooks are super important, and they have to be within the first 3 seconds of the video, or else they're not going to stick to watch through the end, right? And the most important metric for videos is watch time. So it doesn't matter how many likes you get or comments or shares. If people aren't watching your videos, your video isn't going to get pushed out. Next, we have an intro. And marketing 101, you want your intro to be the exact same every time. There has to be consistency, right? You want 1 to 2 supporting pieces of info whenever you make a video, just so people have something to grasp. And then the one of the more important parts is the testimonial part, because people, when they hear something valuable from you, they still might be skeptical and wary as to whether you're a trusted source. So if they have one of your testimonials, it definitely lowers the wall down, right? And you also want to share a call to action, and your call to action should be follow for more, or make sure to subscribe when you're building your audience. Because if you get more people to follow you and more people to subscribe, they're going to watch your videos on in the future, and they're going to constantly come back and see all the value you provide. So when they are ready, they're going to, without a doubt, choose you because they've seen all your videos in the past, right? And so here's another reel I made. This one didn't do as good as the first, but this one got 3,800 views about. Have you ever thought of investing in real estate, but decided that's too difficult or complicated? This video, I'm going to teach you the 3 essentials needed to get started investing in real estate. Hi, my name is John Mendez. I'm a realtor and investor. Here are the 3 essentials needed to get started: time, knowledge, money. Bring just 2 of these to the table, partner up with someone who has a third, you too can get started. This is the same strategy that I'm going to use to get started with my investment property portfolio. If you want to get started as well, investing in real estate, give me a call at 203-881-6047. Right. So as you can see at the end, I said, give me a call. So this is one of the first reels that I made. So this is before I went in depth and started really doing my own research. But as you can see, this video got almost 3,800 plays. So it did fairly well, right? Whoops. And now here's some engagement strategies, right? So You don't want to use general hashtags. And what I've done for you guys is I've already created a list of hashtags for you guys to use. So you don't have to worry too much, right? I got you guys all covered. So you want to have hashtags specific to your post, your niche, and your location, right? You want to post your hashtag in the caption section, not in the comment section, right? That's super important. Do not post your captions in the comments. You want to change up the order of your hashtags. And you don't want to make up your own hashtags. For example, John Mendes Realty. I'm not going to use John Mendes Realty because no one uses hashtag John Mendes Realty. It's not going to push you out in front of people if people aren't using that hashtag. So don't make up your own. You want to use medium hashtags, which consist of hashtags that have 10K to 100K posts, and large hashtags, which consist of anything over 100K. You want to use trending audios as well. So Instagram, when you're in the Reels section of Instagram, on the bottom left, it shows you the audio that you use, right? And if you're scrolling through, sometimes the audios, instead of showing like a little music symbol, it'll show an arrow pointing upwards. And that's how you know if a reel is trending or not, right? And here are some other tips as well, right? You want to, let's say you make a video and you're talking in the video, you don't have any audio. Still put a trending audio in the background. Just turn the audio volume down so people can hear your voice, right? You want to use geotags on every single post. Every time you post, geotag it. You need to have the algorithm know where you're based at so they can push it out to more people in that area. We have the 555 strategy that I posted in one of the Facebook groups not too long ago. That's pretty much, you want to find 5 people that you probably don't interact with them much, and you're going to comment on 5 posts, not at 5 each, just 5, 1 for each person. And in your comment, you want to have about 5 words, right? So instead of saying congrats, say, wow, I'm so proud of you, or something like that, right? And you want to do this between 5 to 10 minutes before and after you post. So the best time to post, right, is 10:30 a.m. to 12, usually right before lunch, 3 to 5 p.m., and between 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. when everyone's home. Right. And so here are some hashtag strategies that you can use. You can either use 4 to 6, you can use 8 to 12, or 15 to 20. And you want to have just 25 to 30 hashtag like stored in your safe. That way you can rotate through. And what I did for all of you guys is that I'm going to be sending this to all of you. So you don't have to look up anything. I did it all
Awesome.
for you. Right. So I'm going to be sending that after the Zoom link. Right.
We love you, man.
John, how are we doing on time? It's
Time is
8
running
minutes.
perfect. Yeah, I got a couple more
Good.
slides, right? And
All right.
then we're gonna go into lightning Q&A.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're
good.
doing great on time. So this is geotagging, right? When you're making a post on Instagram, this is where it'll show you to add location, right? You want to make sure to always geotag. This middle screen is when you're making a Facebook Live. There should have a section right here that says add location. And in the add location, you can geotag. When you're making a general Facebook post, this little red icon right here where you see the circle around, this is to add your location. So it's super important that the algorithm knows where you're located at so it can send people to that location. Right. And now here's a little strategy to never run out of ideas. So you want to follow 10 people that post real estate videos consistently. You want to follow 5 to 10 viral sensations in whatever field you want, just people that are viral. You want to pick 3 to 5 topics that you like, and then follow 5 to 10 people in each of those topics. So let's say I like cooking, I like pianos, and I like football, right? I'll follow 3 to 5 to 10 people in each of those fields, right? You could search a hashtag on Instagram and then go to the Reels section of the search and just start looking at all those Reels that have over 10K views only. Because we only want to replicate success, right? Success leaves clues. And a lot of people post videos and they only get 100 to 200 views. You don't want to reinvent the wheel when starting off. Just curate content and then have a notebook down so you can write down your ideas, right? And here's some people that you can follow. Of course, follow John Mendes _ realtor. I heard that guy is going to be blowing up soon. So make sure you follow him, okay? And just as time, we got lightning Q&A, Paul. So
All
hands
right,
up.
so great job, John. I've been monitoring the chat and I've got 5 questions here that maybe I can do it quick for everyone. You mentioned the straight on video, like I noticed you and James and Jenny, you all have that sort of like, I don't know, how do you look at, like, where do you put the camera and how do you not look at the screen, or how do you do this?
Yeah,
What do we
so
do?
great question. So what I have is a ring light that holds my phone for me. So I set up the ring light, and then in the ring light there's like a little thing that you could play, like prop your phone on, and then I set up as however like I wanted to set up, and I pressed the countdown feature that I mentioned earlier. So I press record, the countdown starts, and then I get into place, and that way I can set up directly in front of the camera. I'm not scrambling beforehand. And so that's how I get like directly on camera. And I try to have it leveled to, somewhere at least chest, or like face-to-face level kind of is best. But, if it's around your chest, and you could just prop it upwards a little bit and look at the camera that way.
Okay, so in this, you're using a computer though, right now?
I'm
You're
recording right now on my computer, yeah. But I
So
record my
how, like,
videos on my phone.
right, but like I'm talking about on Zoom, like everyone wants to know how you've got this great presence. It looks like you're actually more engaged with us. I guess that was where I was focused on. And that's just equipment setup, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's just my equipment setup. I'm looking directly at my webcam right now. As I mentioned, one of the pointers, you want to look in the camera so people feel that you're speaking to them. So I'm
Okay,
looking directly into it right now.
Got it. All right. And then with those of us that wear glasses with the ring light, how do you do it so that you don't have the circles in the glasses like a lot of us?
So I kind of just leave the circles in there. To be honest with you, when I do have my blue light glasses, I don't wear prescription, but sometime when I'm staring at a screen, I do have my blue light glasses, right? And I still haven't really figured that out yet. So that's something that definitely I'll need to look into, and
John,
try to
I'm
get
gonna put it in the chat. I have the answer. There's a video right there.
Thank you, Erica.
Right.
Much appreciated.
Got it.
Okay. I've got 2 more popular questions that were, how do we grow our Instagram following?
Reels. Reels is the #1 way to grow an Instagram following right now. Reels, they push out your content in front of a lot of people. So you want to, and the good thing about Reels is that there's a separate function on Instagram for Reels. And so when you post an Instagram post, it goes to your followers. When you post the Instagram Reels, it goes to your followers and then strangers as well. So you want to focus on Reels.
That sort of tags on to the last question was, if you go live on Facebook, can it be shared live on Instagram?
I believe there's like apps for that. I
Okay.
think Yellow Duck is one of them. I think the algorithm, like the platforms, they don't want you to go live on both at the same time, just because like they know you're not on 2 places at the same time. But you can probably do that. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right, we're going to go over to hands. Rima has her hand raised.
hmm
Yeah, what instrument did you mention after?
All right,
Okay, bye.
Someone's mute. Sorry, hold on,
Hold on, I'm gonna-
1 second.
I said
You in
what?
bed waiting for daddy?
All right, we're going to mute all. Hold on.
What
Okay, Rima, you want to ask your question again? If you're muted, please stay. Only the person talking should unmute. Go ahead, Rima.
what instrument did you mention after boom hum?
One more time. What instrument?
Yeah, like you mentioned what we should have, what we should buy for taking picture. You said the boom hum, and then the next one was what?
Well, she's
So
going to be sending a
yeah.
list, right? Is
Yeah,
that
the
coming
list-
in the list?
yeah, the list is already out there. The Excel sheet is gonna have all the equipment that you could buy, and
Right.
all the links for everything, and the recording is also
Thank
going to
you.
be sent.
Okay, Valerie is next.
With YouTube,
Mhm.
or maybe this is another class, with keywords in YouTube,
Yeah.
how do you determine, what you should be using?
So there's a website that's called Keyword Ninja, if I'm not mistaken, or something along the
Ooh.
lines of that. And
Okay.
from there you can look up, and it gives you a giant like list of keywords that people are looking for in your field. So that's a good one to use. I
All
think
right,
we
and
have
got
time for like
Burnett.
another question or two.
Yeah, we got Burnett and then Jordana, and then we're gonna have to cut it down.
So I'm a bit behind in this.
Oh.
So I never did download Instagram previously.
Yeah.
So in order to get where you were starting the videos today,
Yeah.
once I download, what am I doing?
Well, that's all gonna be on the
in the
in the list,
recording,
John.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll see that on the video.
Thank you.
Okay,
Mhm.
Jordana, last hand.
Yeah, I'll make this really fast. And maybe you could just put it like in the chat or something. Great job, John. Just how do we search for the best videos, like you said, the 10,000, the ones that have the 10,000 views, so that we know like a good one to follow?
Yeah, great
How do we
question.
search for that? Maybe you could just put it in.
Yeah. So
because I was looking and I couldn't.
So if you go to the Instagram, everyone pull out your phones right now. I'll guide you through it right now really quickly before. So if you go on Instagram, right? Once everyone's on Instagram, on the bottom, the second icon is going to be a search icon on the bottom, right? It's a magnifying glass. You click on that. Go on the search bar. You type in hashtag, let's say hashtag real estate, right? Type in hashtag real estate. Now, when you click on hashtag real estate, it's going to give you three. There's three in the middle. It's going to be top, recent, and reels. So when you click on reels, there you're gonna have the entire list of reels only, and from there you just scroll, just scroll and scroll and scroll. And if you do this, you'll take the time out to do this, you'll see how many realtors are now doing this successfully. You know, so only go for the ones that have over 10K and then replicate those. Give credit where credit's due, but try to replicate them as well as you can, right?
Rip off and duplicate. All right, John, that was awesome. You guys,
Yeah.
this was awesome, awesome, awesome. Good
Thank
stuff.
you, John.
This was his
You're
first
welcome.
time, guys.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Amazing.
You're a pro.
Amazing.
Did such
John,
a great
you did
job.
great.
We love you, John.
Really great.
Good job.
Incredible, man. You the
Can't wait
man.
for next
Phenomenal.
time.
John,
We love you.
awesome job, my
Amazing.
friend.
Thank-
The kill buzz. We got Ro Coleman. Ro Coleman.
Presentation. Sorry.
Yeah, Rose coming on to do her seller seminar. For those of you that are going to that, stay on this link. Don't leave.
Yeah. So
John, can you just tell everybody how you're going to send out the, are you going to send out the slides? What do you,
yeah,
what
so
are you
this is what I'm
sending?
doing for everyone. Thank you guys, first of all, for attending and supporting me. I really do appreciate that. A lot of sleepless nights, a lot of nerves that went into making this seminar happen, right? So I'm going to be sending a video replay for everyone of the Zoom. I'm also going to be sending an audio replay for anyone that's like listening to stuff in the gym or on the drive, so that you'll be getting that as well. You'll also be getting the list of hashtags. I already have that all prepped for you. You'll be getting the equipment list with all the links to buy them and the prices. You'll also be getting a list of content ideas. I got most of them from Jeff Glover. If you guys attended the Jeff Glover, there's a social media calendar. I kind of just ripped that off and then added some more ideas into each column. So you guys will be having all that in there ready sometime probably this weekend. Should be sent out.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome. And you received the inspiration. Now put in the perspiration.
Good stuff.
Last slide, and that's pretty much it. So
John,
everyone,
can you review the 555 concept that you mentioned?
I would love to, but we actually have to get into Ro's seller seminar right now. So if you're still here,
Okay.
Ro, I'm looking for you right now, so I can give you the host option right now. We could transfer it over.
Okay.
Um,
She raises her hand. It'll be easier for her to find you to
You
find.
can
Yes.
just type. Yeah, you could type it in the
There we
chat.
go.
There you go.
Yeah. And then I know it's a smaller crowd, so everybody else, you can definitely feel free to go ahead and drop off while we transition this. For those of y'all who registered, if you need a quick break, John has to transition it to me. I have to get my stuff up and running. So we will start. It's 1:05 at 1:08. So run to the bathroom, get some water.
Will you have yours recorded as well, Ro?
Oh, yeah, John, don't forget to stop the recording.